Asim obologi, obologi, imegene. This is Voices Unheard with your man, Cutie Light. They call me Cutie Light. That guy told no way. Obenye na asi obenye bia na oba obenye. It doesn't matter the be anytime you see me on this particular background, it means that I have a story to share with you. This is where we share story, as you already know. And today we have a special personality in the building. I am sure you must be seeing this man selling newspaper in some part of Enugu, and it might interest you to know that he has been in this business since after the Biafran War. Celebrate him next time you see him, because he is the pride of Ndigbo. Join me on this segment as I have a conversation with a Biafran War legend who you see as a newspaper seller today.
During that very time, we enjoy with the Europeans to do everything together.
So are you going to say that it was much better, life was much better before the independence?
Oh, very, 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 very. Because the management was actually doing well. The management by the
Government.
colonial masters.
Okay.
Before the independence, 1960. So this thing was actually moving very fine. Whatever we are eating was actually well nourished and this thing. Fine morning.
Keke, man.
Oh, no, man. No.
Nice to have you right here
Yeah,
again.
I'm very happy to be with you.
So tell me, introduce yourself to me.
I'm Michael Igbo Uzomba from Isukweto, Abia State. What motivated me to into the, the army was actually there was a crisis, and this crisis was actually through the politics like this, just as we are seeing it now. The politics we are seeing now is exactly how that war, how it started. So when the politics was going on, there was 4 regions in Nigeria here. We have Eastern region, Western region, then Northern region, and then Midwest. That's 4 regions. So this thing was actually moving very well till a time when when the war broke out. During that time, after the coup of Major Nzaogu. So that coup happened, and when it happened, people were killed. There was some political masters in the coup, as I learned, who were actually mapped out to be killed in the coup. But eventually, they have section by section. They have in the northern region, they have a northern region, they have eastern region, they have western region, and the eastern region, which is in our own. Eventually, when the coup took off, many of the people in the north were actually killed. Majority of them, the politicians. Really, I don't know where it's good to mention them.
You can't mention them.
So someone like Sadwana of Sokoto, Tafawa Balawa, who was actually the prime minister, of Nigeria by then, while a good number of them were killed in the north. Then coming to the west, nothing actually done. Coming to the east, too, the people who actually mapped out to be killed were not killed. So, and eventually, I think that's what sparked off the second coup. After the Nzaogu's coup, the second coup came the counter coup. And when it came up, they started by chief of staff by then, under Aguirre, which is General Gowan. It was mastered by him. then he was actually, he took over. So from then, the Biafran, by that time we don't have Biafra. All this things was the Eastern Command. Like myself, the army I joined by then was East Stroke NA, at the Eastern Nigeria Army. And so it's after the this thing now, during the when Biafra was actually created, that's around 68, that number becomes BA, and eventually it's just like that. So it was actually much this thing going on by then.
Okay, so I want to know your personal story. You let's bring it back to you, your personal story and how you joined the army.
Like as I said, I used to be somebody who have a feeling of others. So when this coup took over, then people were returning from the north in good numbers. In fact, most of our Igbos who are living in the north were returning in a very great number. They even joined this thing, train. And the train they joined, some of them climbed the coach, on top of the coach. Some of them were managing one way or the other to make sure they arrived to the east here. It wasn't actually easy. Most of them managed, to jump the train, be on top of the train to make sure them. So
is it like that the east, like talking about the east, like Enugu then was the safest in the country back then?
Pardon?
Is it like the east back then, especially Enugu Eba, was it like it's the safest place for them to come?
No, the fact is that by then people had started going to their original, places.
Okay.
Yeah, when this thing took off, people really living in the north were no more. They were no more, safe. Most of them feel that they are no more safe because majority have been killed, and some of them who are returning used to return through the railway station here. And on the arrival, it's there they make plan now to see where they can be able to quarter them. So most of them. So at time when I closed from my bookshop at Ikenga Hotel, I used to ride. I had a motorcycle by then. I used to ride my motorcycle to railways, park it, and go inside the railway station to see some of the victims. And eventually, in fact, I used to be helpless. I just look at people. Some of them, they plucked their eye. Some of them, a lot of atrocities was actually committed. And so eventually, then I will come out with this thing. When the stage now, the stage now, there were no more peace in going to see the refugees coming down from the north. So they started to just, some of them now who has returned have to plan a way. Then that the students from, I'm just telling you what motivated me to join the army. The students then from Enugu campus, so they have to run to Juku at the government house, asking him that the Igbos are being no more, that majority of them are dead, that they want to go to the north to go and fight. But Juku told them it's not the way. You don't just go from here to go and fight in the north. There was sophisticated weapon, and there was arms owned by we the Easterners, and then both Northerners, and we own together. Now as we are in the East, and this thing has happened, we don't have any. We have only Mark 4, which is at the 2 live here. So that people can go to war, we have to think about it. That I consult the elders. That's what Ojukwu told them. You consult the elders so that they can be able to teach us what to do. So, I mean, after that, the students went back to their campus. Then these people came again, these unhappy people. In fact, all this was IADC, you know. I was seeing them. They came with their war dance, trying to bam, 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 bam. Ojukwu will leave us, let us go to the north and fight. Ojukwu told them not to. So people should actually cool down. Let me consult the elders. So when he talked to them like that, they went back. So as they went back to their houses now, this thing continues, the hitting of this thing, killing now, started much and much in the north. So there's nothing they could do. So what they did is, you know, in such a time, a land that Gowon, who masterminded this second coup, that Agui being the head of state militarily by then, has been killed. They say I have been killed. Then what happened is that Ojukwu didn't take much time to talk to Gowon, asking him to make sure as he has been killed, if Agui has been killed, so let them send the corpse to the eastern region here. Let us know that our son is no more. This thing took a good number of months and months. As even doubt become whether Agui is no more or is still living. As he used that Agui in his hand, I don't know, you don't know about that. He used to use Agui, and that is Agui crocodile. He used to hand, that's what he used to go with as his walking stick. They say he will not die, but now they say he's no more. So eventually, nothing I did. Then Ojukwu started, being more this thing, asking for what to do. Then they started talking about recruiting soldiers, and that recruitment started from WTC Enugu here. When I learned about it, in fact, I don't have any other choice than to make sure I go and join the army. And eventually, I went the first day. I was not selected. Then I returned. I got, because you have to stay with your pants only pants. Then they look at you if you are physically fit. Then they know whether you can join the army. That by then they take a physical this thing. So. No.
So talking about that time, were you guys forced?
I was telling you that it was after I've seen all these things at the railway station here. All these are people who are returning from the north, and all these unhappy people who wanted to go and start fighting without nobody asked them to, talk about the war. Then before we started, but by then these people had started coming into the Igbo land. That is Enugu Ezike here, Ibagwa. Although they have a common boundary there, they have the troops, Nigerian soldiers have started coming in, but killing some of the civilians, killing most of them, and coming in more and more. So that is what actually made the people now to Ojukwu to make sure he arranged for soldiers. Then the first people sent to Nsukka was police. They were sent. The commander was inspectors. They sent them to Nsukka to go and mine those areas at the boundary there, where these people are coming in, forcing the distance, because they have the gun, they have everything. So eventually, the police went, they were killed in numbers. So when I have not joined the army, I saw this thing now. When I have not joined the army, I saw some of them killed, by with bomb. Those they bombed at Nsukka. We haven't known actually the position the Nigerian soldiers are, but they normally use their long range this thing 106. that is mortar. So they use it to shell, they just use it to harass all this area, and everybody will just. The opportunity comes after there are much bombing and everything. We have to make with our Mark 4 and the stick. What we stick, Mark 4 and all this thing. We have to, use what we have, to, reply. We only reply, not to stop them.
So what did you people have? Like you people that were sent to do the fighting, what did you people have? What did you people fought them with?
We had nothing. What we normally do is some of us who were militias carry sticks. Some of us now who were actually trained militarily by then. We were trained under Eastern Command, the Nigerian Army, not Biafra. By then, the Biafra just started around 68. As after this thing now, after the Aburi Accord, when Ojukwu and Gowon went Aburi to seek for peace, that's around 68. So things was, actually, we were hoping things would be all right. So we fought them with only Mark 4. The Mark 4, the only remains gone with us. Then in a short time, Ojukwu started getting in some weapons, like SMC. That's the one we have here, the one I used here, SMC. We use that one. It has a long magazine that contains 30 rounds. And we use it. Then small time, we start, sometimes when we drop them away from their position, we carry their weapons. That's what actually gave us another thing to fight back. We carry, they have sophisticated weapons, like Madison, and most of the SMG, the heavy thing. So we fight back with what we get, but we don't have much. And Ojukwu tried as a leader to start getting weapons. We don't know from where he's getting.
So I heard of few people during that time how this thing called Obunigwe. So how did you people get to Obunigwe?
You see, by that time, we get very, very knowledgeable Igbo people, very, very experienced. We have some engineers, like, let's see this man, Raw Many, who was once he was actually the deputy dean to Mobodo during the tenure. He was the second. So he was an engineer Raw Many was engineer. There's one other engineer, Sam from Enugu here. That man is the one who made that letter bomb. When Delejiwa was killed, he was the one who prepared that letter bomb, which killed Delejiwa of Newswatch. So they were, some of our engineers were working in hand to make sure they get something to defend it, something different from the Mark IV ordinary and the stick, which we were using to fight back. And then when they prepared this Obunigwe, it was very wonderful. Very wonderful. The picture, one of it is here. So one can't think so. You just look at it as a rough distance, but it kills in quantum. It kills. Obunigwe kills. You let this thing here, it will kill all around here. So Obunigwe was a very sophisticated, weapon we got that very time. And the people who actually manufactured it were our own, scientists and engineers.
We are still part of the armies.
Yeah, they're part of the army. Many was in the army. It's after the war he died. He died after the war.
Okay. So let's talk about what was a typical day like during the wartime. What was a typical day like during that time?
In fact, my dearest brother, The typical day was actually very, very hectic. It was actually hectic in a way that we don't eat. We don't usually eat. We don't even, no? At times like this, like us who were at Nsukka at that early time, there's no food. Before they bring food to us, they have to find they just boil water, hot water, and then put garri inside it. And then if I'm saying it now, it will look very, it will look like a play, you know. Put the garri inside the water, boil it, then with this abacha, you know, leaves. They boil it, turn it to give you soup. No salt, no pepper, nothing like anything to talk about, something to eat. But you know, there's one thing that surprises me that time. We don't eat it, you don't have any other means of your livelihood. And in fact, the only thing is that the Biafra boys, in fact, the boys were good. Our boys are good. They fought even without eating anything, they fought. So after you manage to swallow that guy, they just close their eye. They swallow so that their belly will get this thing. Then, not minding whether it has taste. I don't know. We don't eat anything fine that very time.
Okay. Okay. So, can you describe a particular memorable traumatic event that happened within your eyes?
In fact, that is when we were living in Soka. Finally, so because after our fight from that Ebagwa, he came, and the Obodafo, all those areas, you know, being distant to you know, a boundary. Then we start coming down to Zig's flat, which is the university. We start coming down. So we were coming down. We entered there. Hey, they bombarded us badly. They used the artillery this and now. Bomb, shell. Since that time I came, they have been bombing, making sure that we live in Soka. They bomb. Well, we were actually attacking, trying to go forward. We can't. We don't know that their troops were all deployed all around. You hear, just like that. Then we left to our camp at Oba. That is where we watered. Then trying to arrange ourselves to fight back. See whether we can drive them away from the Zig's flat. We did all we can. Even I was sent to carry most of my boys too for that attack. We went where they cultivated this cocoyam inside this near to the Zig's flat. This means that boys is the boys' quarter. Then it's my memorable. That is the day I will never forget. So we entered into that attack. We entered there. We didn't know that their soldiers opened the wall. That is, they were inside the buildings. Then open the wall. Open the wall. Then bring out the muzzle of their weapons. That's how they fix it to all the this in there. So we entered across them. As we say charge. That's charging them. That there's nobody there. We charge. We just carry our gun. They go like, I'm not knowing they were inside the buildings. So we cross them, then start going. It is when we have reached out to Ibagwa again. You start hearing, boom. That's yelling. Yeah, wow. Boom. Yeah, go.
These are bombs.
But that's this thing now. Then we start immediately now, trying to run back. So when we were actually trying to run back now, coming to Zig's flat, as we reach there now, to those buildings that we were just passing, you hear this thing now, you hear the gun. You start this thing, you start seeing this thing. You hear, go, 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 go. Then all weapons start shouting on us. Hey, well, in fact, we don't know they were right inside because that's why we are waiting to run to cross to Oba to go to our to our camp. Now go, 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 go. Then, as the thing happened, I came trying to cross their swimming pool. I came there. I don't know that swimming pool was actually got wired. They wired it just like this, round now. So I get a small opening. So what I noticed is that when I noticed that their firing was going direct, they can't translate, cannot run this way or this way. So what I did is that, okay, as I see, I'm going this direction. As I see they cannot translate this way, then I take this direction. Going. I manage myself to enter into the hot wire. I get a space, put myself, my water can, which was here, then hang on this thing here. So I managed. That firing was heavy. The winds are directing it to me, but the thing was not touching me. But I know the arithmetic I worked. How I managed. I say if I take this way, I said they can't, they can't get me. And I was very anxious to make sure I crossed. I crossed. I enter it is a swimming pool. No other place again to cross the other side. I have to find a way again, taking side by side like this. Side by side, fearing them, trying to crawl on the ground to make sure that I don't raise up my head. So as I was going, we were just like this. So I go and then cross, then climb to that hill, top back. I said, good, I move on.
And that would have been the day you would have died.
And the one this thing with that our fight is that you have nothing with you. I have only my this thing now, my bag, and my kit at my back, where I have my this thing now, something like what do you call it? Rain cape and the other this thing of my this thing. And that was my belonging. If I died, I've just finished. There's nothing property, nothing for me. So I managed myself to make sure. That's all. In fact, it was very, very, that I always remember it. I don't actually forget it. I remember this story. I always remember it because I know it was actually very, very...
Okay. It's getting more interesting. So, you personally now, if you were asked now, who did Igbo people fight with? Is it like they fought with Hausa people, or they fought with Yoruba people, or they fought with, probably?
You see, the war we fought was not particular to any tribe of this country, because really they named it Hausa and Igbo. It should have not been so, because there's nothing like Hausa and Igbo. That is a Nigeria fight. That's a brother fighting brother. We were just one nation fighting each other. But to the stage now, our people like the Northerners, they have mentioned them because it is there the war started. They started coming from there. So it is there they killed the major people, or the politicians. So as we were actually managing, it does not mean that we fought Hausas or we fought Yoruba. They are all collectively. Both Yoruba were with them, Hausa people were with them, and the Europeans. British people was with them. I mean, a lot of them. Most of them are their pilots. I mean, almost Britain. What should I say? Britain. British people, they actually they dealt with us, but we actually showed them that we are not pushover. We did what we can to make sure that the war actually did not actually end this thing in their favor like that. It wasn't a war that fought, they say that Igbo fought Hausa, Hausa fought Yoruba. They all collectively, they joined together for sure. I said, well, we want defense. We were just defending ourselves.
So you are saying that Igbos didn't actually go to fight; they went there to defend themselves.
And we went there. In fact, we were there to defend ourselves because they were seriously coming in through the boundary. They were seriously coming in through Nsukka here, because during the war, as the war started, we don't have any other sector. It's only this Nsukka. There's nothing like Rivers sector or Nature sector or this. It is as the time goes on, after the fall of Nsukka, when Nsukka fell, then the fear was that as we were at Nsukka, if we remained there, as these people had entered the Nsukka University, that the war has actually rounded up. So the best thing to do is to make sure we withdraw. By then, this man, Achuzie, Major Achuzie, he actually said he's going to trek from here to Midwest to cross to River Niger and then go over, that is going to Lagos with his troops. Well, it didn't take him too long. We tried to withdraw from that 9th mile, because if this will enter Nsukka, they can cut us off at 9th mile. So people living at, staying at Nsukka, in fact, they will just perish them because their troops will be coming in. They'll be pushing in great number. When they learn that we have been cut off. So eventually, we did actually put in.
Majorly, was your role as a Biafran soldier then?
My role was to fight. To fight. And at the same time now, we fight, and thank God that after the fighting, I survived the war, not through my own power, but through Almighty God. So I survived the war, and in fact got no wound. That's another interesting thing. If I tell you I went from Nsukka, and then you might be thinking I was just strolling around this thing. You don't know that we fired, and when the firing starts, my boy, you don't know whom the bullet will hit. You will be yelling, go, 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 everywhere. Fear, 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 fear. You don't know where they did. When you see some of our guys, when the thing touched them, they fell down. And the worst this thing is that during that very period of the war, we don't bury people. As they die there, that's where they remain. You don't go to say carry to go and bury. Like on this Thursday, you have fear, going for burial. They don't bury people. You see young boys, they lay every corner. At times like that, when I watch them, at times you see how we jump them as we are going to next this thing. So what happens is that after that this thing now, we manage all we can to actually, after the survival, we did everything to make sure that we were not actually, pushed back. The war just ended like that.
Okay, so let's talk about the ending of the war. Of course, you experienced it. So
Yeah.
what was your experience?
We thank God so much. After I heard a declaration and this thing at Aburi, as the one who said, on Aburi we stand. There was a stand at Aburi when they went there. They went in 1968. They went there. They went to Aburi. They agreed. Ojukwu agreed with Gowon. They said they would go there to make peace. While that president of this thing by then, Kofi someone was actually who, mastered this thing. So you see, they went and they made peace. They agreed that this is what they're going. We don't know what the peace they made, though, but we believe we in the bush was happy that after that Abuja Accord that the war has ended, 1968. But we waited and waited and waited. They returned. The peace this thing was not implemented. I was equally hearing General Gowan once attended there, the one president of the country, who he made some announcements after the war. He made some announcement that the paper I missed. I was about to keep that a copy of it because when you talk, I just show you. That's why I keep some of it. So Gowan said, in fact, the war has ended. There was no victor, no vanquish. You can see this English looks very deep. Well, we were hoping that we in the Biafra will get equal rights. I'm supposed to own a car now. I even this is a house to quarter me and my family.
What was your, what are your regrets about the war?
Well, as we were not equally treated, we were almost forgotten. You see, we were almost forgotten. And as it was like that, everybody has to be fighting on how to survive his living, to those who are living. And most of our Biafran soldiers who survived the war, most of them are dying. They're dying because they don't get anything to feed themselves, not to just money. But you, if you have a very strong heart, you have to be struggling to whatever you can put your hand to get your daily bread. Like myself, I don't care. I can carry load to make my living going on.
So, but has the government since then approached you people?
Not at all. They have not. They have not even equally say how are these our boys faring. You see, because after the war, in fact, we have the hope that we should be called together and address us in such a way that, we shall feel belonging. We shall feel part of the country. But showing that what Nigeria is, they always say that those who win the war also carry the day. It was not like that. We got nothing. Nothing was given to us, not even up to now. We are still even, like me, we're still living. I find it very difficult to actually get the response.
So, what is your life like now, after the war?
Well, immediately after the war, I started going ahead, thinking about how I will actually make up to be getting my daily bread. And I think immediately after the war, I first of all went to my bookshop at Catherine Rest House, Ikenga, and carried some all the old books I see that belongs to me, because we have 2 bookshops there. The other man who didn't end the war, Mr. Okolo, he didn't enter, he was not in the war, has already packed my own remaining books and then put into his bookshop. So all I did courageously, what I did is that I entered into his shop. I got all his books or magazines. He always stamped them from London. They always give it a special stamp. So what I did, the next thing I did is that, Mr. Okolo, those books that wear no stamp, they're all mine. The one that wears stamp, now, oh no, we nearly fight. So when I carry them, I come at Colary Avenue here. That junction, I don't know why, you don't know most of these places though. You don't know why they come out here. You come to town one day. So that's the junction. I stayed there and then start to display my books and pen magazines on the ground because there's nothing I can put there. Then before I should close, in the evening. This white ants, I started chopping it from this thing where I put it on the ground. Started chopping the books. So when I opened, nothing there. I just managed. I tried to find. So one woman who was actually a customer too, she said it would help me to build a kiosk. That was the first kiosk I built. It will hold me, it will help me. Bought plywood, bought everything. This and that. I built it. I have the picture of that. This thing that didn't come with it. So that started my life like that. Then in a short time, I started meeting up, trying to get myself, and then I was thinking what to do. By then I was not married. No, 1970. I wasn't married by then, because I was looking for my life. So all this thing now, all I did is plan and say, what do I do now? Do I start planning for marriage, or do I start to build a house? Because if I get a woman without a house, this woman no live. Oh. She can't live with me. But if I build a house, before getting a woman, she would like to relax. And that is exactly what happened. I started building that 3 rooms really from that very 80s. Then I've not rounded it up. It looks very fun, I tell you honestly.
But are you living there now?
And I'm one of it, which I prepared for my mother. I'm still, when I go home, I don't. But the worst part, what I collected last 2023, the thieves just went in, Vanguard. That it carried everything I have in that house, with nothing remaining. Even mat, even stoves to cook. In fact, my brother, since that time we saw last, I've been planning about how to touch home at least to see what I can do. Without a mat, I can't just go home now and then. They carried away everything, cut away everything.
So what are you doing currently now?
Well, I'm still selling my papers. Even though nothing is coming in again unlike before. Unlike before. Formerly, you sell a book, you sell, then you make you make gain. When you sell much, you make gain. Because it is from 3 kobo to 3 pence you get into number of papers you say they can give you a food for you and your children.
Okay, so newspaper, that's what you sell, right?
Newspaper is what.
So let's say, like in a day like this, how much profit do you make?
In fact, normally it's no more like before, as I said. In fact, what we are doing now is no more selling of it. The gain doesn't come much.
Like how much are you looking at?
If you make a time 2,000, you make much.
2,000, and like how many kids do you have now? How many kids do you have?
I have 3.
3.
3 kids.
So let's say with 2,000 naira, you can feed them every day.
Well, we used to actually manage. Not that most of them are not living with me now, because some of them, my son has actually, he learned tailoring, and he's his own. Even this morning, he sent me something to him. I was telling him where I'm going, and I don't have any. He sent something to me. So I'd rather get from them instead of trying to feed them again. Because feed them, most of them, they finish their secondary school as much as I can struggle. I did that. I was very, very happy. The last one is still with me, my last one. To be honestly, and what I saw in the war, I'm advising everybody, even though agitating for war. You see, the war was very bitter, very, very bitter. That you can only enjoy it when you hear sound of gun, but you don't enjoy it when it hits somebody and that person fell. So probably I will advise every other person who is seeking for war. War is not a good this thing for us. Coming for the agitation of Biafras, the Biafran the Biafra does not come by fighting. We didn't start going to war to gain Biafra. Yes, I didn't remember to tell you that. We did not go to war to fight. We were defending ourselves before we got Biafra. That's after the Abuja Accord. So what I'm saying is that war is not, the distance to everyone. We shall get, the Biafra is at hand, and we are going to get Biafra not by fighting again. We don't fight again to get Biafra. So the Biafra is at hand, and Bond is actually working very distant now. The only thing is that, who are the Biafrans? Okay, if me and you are Biafran, how do we cooperate to be sure that we are one brother? That is the major problem with Biafra. If not, we have no problem. If we can come together and agree, this is what we want, we get it. It's just like at times during election. You can see our men, some Igbos, going to stand for president. They go for president, they will start, this one will come, another person will come. There will be about 10 seeking for one post. Instead of they bring out one person, they say, okay, we support this man, let him go. We don't do that. And that is our problem.
What do you think would have been our fate? What do you think would have been the fate of we Igbos if you people did not move to do that fight?
Yes, I thank you very much for this question, because we are seeing ourselves now as we are still enjoying in Igbo land. If not that war, we fought 3 years. We were in the bush for 3 years. I tell you, when we say we're in the bush, you might not understand me very well, because there was rain and sun hitting us in the bush. And we stay into the trenches. Those trenches, they dig trenches just like this till wherever it is. And when inside the trenches, there's water, like the rainy season now. Okay, you will stay inside there. Sometimes most of my hands have, look very white. So eventually, we stay along the trench to watch the enemies in front of you. You don't sleep. You close your eyes now, you close your eyes for an enemy. Enemy can just come and carry you like that. And you see the treatment they give to war prisoners. It's better you die before they carry you reach there. They will give you your shit, ask you to eat it. So, you see, we could have been in Nigeria here. If you watch what Nigeria people are doing to the Igbo, you could have been slaves. I tell you honestly, we could have been, you are seeing yourself that you can still go have freedom to move. But if we did not fight the war for that so long, they thought they would take us waiting 24 hours. I tell you honestly, they thought that Hassan Osman of Northern Region by then, the governor of Northern Region by then, he said that don't mind the Igbos. It's a question of time, they will just clear them. Don't mind the Igbos. But they were surprised. That is why, I respect Ojukwu. He's a very mighty hero. I fought with all of them. Zogu was with us. Then Nwobosi, Colonel Nwobosi. What do you see? Majority of them were with us in the bush. And this Christopher Okiba mentioned one active this thing, he did very well during the war. And he died though. He died on the thing that the Biafra lost Nsoka. Really he died with it, he committed suicide.
All right, thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity to speak with you. Of course, to speak with a legend.
Thank you.
It's not a small something.
Thank you.
I so much appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
sir.
I'm grateful.
Thank you. Okay, so nke a bụ mgbe niri Ojukwu.
The burial this thing.
Ikemba Ojukwu's burial carnival. Okay, it was a carnival. Oh, wow.
What the carnival really?
Okay. Okay, so there's this one is showing me. Okay, you documented all these things.
Yes, I did really. I did because
Wow.
I know this is a fact. Not all we are doing today is real, not just
Yeah.
yourself.
This one is Nigeria and the fear of God.
This,
Okay.
so I can tell you more about.
And this newspaper was actually, okay, August 13th, 2021.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Okay. So, okay. Let's have more. Okay, this one is from Daily Sun.
And there is, I think I have that Joko.
Okay, this is, oh yeah. Okay.
But we don't need to. So I think we forget about.
Okay. Yeah, it's okay. Okay.
This is it.
Okay, so this is a documentary, The Nigeria Biafran War.
Yes.
Okay. That's like a movie.
Movies, a movie really.
Okay. Yeah, this one I'm seeing here. This is head of Biafran government in exile, appointed. Okay. Okay. And this one is dated. This should be 25th, 204.
204, yes.
Okay, yeah, 204 March. Wow. So this paper, this paper don't hold you.
Yes, and that's why I like to
Keep the documentaries.
This is that one I told you.
Okay. Okay, when you were selling newspaper.
This is at what they tell.
Like how many years have you sold newspaper now?
It's really since the end of the war.
Okay.
End of the war. I've been selling newspaper because I have a bookshop.
Okay.
I manage it just to make 2 years from it.
Okay. Because you can see you selling your newspaper. Okay.
And this is
Okay. This should be you during the war.
that's me.
Oh. What's the name of this the airway piper?
This is submachine.
Submachine.
Gun.
That's the one they call chain bullets.
It has the chain this thing now that if you are actually firing it,
It's
the thing rotates.
okay.
When it help you now, this is HMG.
The HMG.
HMG.
Two of them are different. This thing.
Different. This one we have to that is like if bomber or plane
Okay,
is coming to or
oh,
fighter.
Oh,
we
that's
use
the
this,
one you used to put down the planes. Oh,
to carry it.
HMG. Okay, and this
This
is where
is the
your
artillery. The artillery gun.
Okay.
That's the last gun I fire. That's the
Okay.
one I fire.
So you can handle the artillery.
Very well. We
Wow.
demonstrate it in such a way. Very well. My commander loved me through that.
Wow, I think I can see some of them. Like these pictures are.
No way now to.
Yeah.
All these things I went from here when I was in charge of our kitchen.
Okay.
These are refugees that the people will cook for boys in the bush. So when they cook finish, then I carry the food
Okay.
to that time we were at Akebe. This is at Abo.
Okay. I see.
That's why I said.
Oh, you handle big guns. So. Big guns.
After my training.
Okay. Okay. There we are. 2 children. What's the names?
This one Chinemera. Chinemera. This one is my son. Then Ogechukwu.
Okay.
That's how we were bubbling just before the war.
Bubbling, yeah.
In fact, we were actually enjoying with Europeans and then.
Okay.
That's my son. After his baptism this year.
Okay. So that's you.
Because the day I went to interview for security at Central Bank, this is at Mother Terra.
Wow.
Where we went the interview.
Yeah, you're handsome man.
This is my last one.
Okay, the last one. What's the name of the last one?
This one, Victor.
Okay.
Victor is his name. But my Igbo name I gave to him was, let's see you call it. Igbo name, I gave him one Igbo, Obum name.
Okay, Obum name. It is not me that is doing it. It's God. Okay, so of course you just listened to this amazing story right here. All you need to do for me right now is, I know you have your comments, you have your reservations, you have something you want to say. Just go directly to this the comment section and the stuff right there. This is the Voices on Head. Of course, follow us in all social media platforms. Make sure that you're commenting, make sure that you are sharing it to somebody, because she's definitely educative. And more stories are coming up very soon. So stick around with us. I'm still Ejike Ibuchim Light. They call me Cutie Light. I say bye-bye.